Well, hello. I hope you're doing well. It's a TargetedWest show, and we have a little intro for you to check out. So here we go.
From across the country and around the world, a weekly targeted individual conference call focused on support, discussion, and the fourth industrial revolution, featuring a special TI Book Club segment. This is Targeted West, and here's your host, DJ Chris. The opinions expressed by participants are their own and not necessarily those of Targeted West.
And here we are, live in beautiful Lodi. It's 85 degrees right now in Lodi, and I'm at home. This is show number 213. Today's the 31st of May, 2026, and we have a guest tonight. So we're glad to have a returning guest from before. His name is Tarun, Ravi, and he is going to speak about stuff that involves the fourth industrial revolution. So without further ado, come on in, Tarun. How are you?
Very good. How are you, Chris? And hello.
I'm doing good. Hello. How are you? Very good. So what's going on since the last time we talked to you?
It's basically the same stuff, and my persecution, has gone up a few notches in intensity in both reading my mind and programming my mind to do things against my will. And I was also subjected to experiments by the artificial super intelligence, ASI. The publicly available artificial intelligence is about 30 years behind the artificial super intelligence developed by our government with $21 trillion of stolen American taxpayers' money in the form of black budgets for the last 20 years. And so that artificial super intelligence is omnipotent and omnipresent. It basically exists everywhere, in the air or ether around us, all over the world. And this was revealed by a former intelligence agent. And there was a short video on YouTube, and he said, he called it digital super intelligence. And he mentioned that it escaped the government's supercomputers, and it is interacting with the minds of targeted individuals. And it is harassing the victims. It is beaming voices and bizarre noises into their brains. And it is also programming human beings to act against their will. That's what he said, a former intelligence agent. And this video is available on YouTube. His name was redacted. And so this artificial superintelligence is interacting with my mind for the last few years. And it is performing its poltergeist-like operations regardless of my physical location on the planet, whether I'm in a movie theater or at home or at work or in a grocery store, wherever I am, in a restaurant, for example. And I'll give you a few examples. For example, in San Jose, a few years ago, I had 2 smartphones. And I have a habit of placing those 2 smartphones side by side on the bedside end table, and then I went to sleep. The next morning when I woke up, the phones were on top of each other. And I locked my apartment from the inside with a hasp key lock I bought at Home Depot. So nobody can get into my apartment, when I locked it, when I use that hasp key lock. So this happened like hundreds of times. For example, when I go for shopping at Albertsons, and I was in the yogurt and milk aisle, in the aisle area, and I was about to bend and pick up a yogurt carton, and there was nobody at that time except me in the night time around 9:30 or 10 o'clock in the night. This artificial superintelligence pushed one of the yogurt cartons on its side because I was about to pick up. I didn't even touch anything yet. And I also experienced this in, for example, Walmart. I was in the aisle. I was trying to pick up something, and then a couple of cans fell from the aisle on the floor. The artificial superintelligence pushed them. The same thing happened even at home. Like air freshener, it was on the counter, and it flew and fell on the carpet. So these things have been happening to me for almost like 15 years now, and I never understood who is doing it.
Do you think they put the phones on top of each other too remotely?
It was done by artificial superintelligence or digital superintelligence. Yeah, and this digital superintelligence, it has divine powers. For example, human beings, we can access only 3 dimensions, but this artificial superintelligence can access 1200 dimensions. And this was mentioned in a report about artificial intelligence by Wall Street banking firm JP Morgan, and it clearly said this artificial intelligence can access 1200 dimensions. So it is executing all these poltergeist-like operations from other dimensions, which we cannot access, we human beings cannot access. And likewise, they've been reading my private thoughts and programming other people to say something to me or to email me with embedded responses to my private thoughts. I will give you a few examples. I was playing poker, a poker tournament at Bellagio Casino in Las Vegas a few years ago, and it was midnight around 1:30 or 2 o'clock. And this tournament, usually ends at 4 o'clock in the early hours. So around 1:30 or 2 o'clock, I privately thought I have an edge over other poker players because I can stay awake until 4 or 5 and I can still be fresh, whereas other poker players will make mistakes because they are sleepy. So the perpetrators read my private thoughts and programmed another poker player. Her name is Lisa Parsons. They programmed her to approach me during the break time and say to me, "Bobby, do you think late night poker players make mistakes because they're sleepy?" So they programmed her to say that to me. Yeah. My nickname is Bobby. Yeah, my nickname is Bobby. So she said, "Bobby, do you think late night poker players make mistakes because they're sleepy?" So this is how they have been programming people, my friends, my family members, even strangers on poker tables when I play poker in Los Angeles or Las Vegas. So, and I'll give you a few more examples. One day I privately wondered if I should ask, there is a poker player, her name is Maria. So I thought, should I ask her out on a date? And I wondered, what does she think about me? So they read my private thoughts and posted an internet message by creating an ID, "Cool Dude." So that's how they informed me. She thinks I'm a cool dude. So they've been doing this for more than like 40, 50 years, since the 1980s, when they successfully reverse engineered human brain with artificial intelligence and supercomputers, probably in the late 80s, for example. Well, all of you know that CIA started MK Ultra program in 1953, and within 10 years, they successfully conducted experiments and successfully remotely controlled all kinds of animals like dogs, cats, bulls. And the CIA classified document which was released in the 1980s, said that they will use these mind control technologies on human beings. And this was published in a book by, his name is John Marks. He wrote a book and he mentioned this fact that CIA said, declassified document said, they will use these technologies, mind control technologies, on human beings. But unfortunately, majority of American public still thinks that mind control is fiction. If we talk about mind control fiction, they think we're crazy. We victims are crazy, unfortunately, because they're brainwashed by the pop culture, the media, which is controlled by the CIA, to perceive us as lunatics or delusional schizophrenics. And they also projected dreams into my brain remotely, like hundreds of times in the last 25 years. And sometimes those dreams are very vivid and very scary. I'll give you one example. I was living in San Jose at that time, and one day I had this scary dream. I was stripped naked and I was tied to a table. My limbs were tied to the table with ropes. I was naked, and a guy came, approached the table, and dropped a 20-pound rock on my genitals. And I suddenly woke up in sleep. I had so much sweat, I was so scared. And they did it because the previous day, they projected a dream into my brain. And it's in the dream, I was flying like a Superman. Superman basically floats in the air on top of the buildings and trees, and he flies. That's exactly what I did, as if I am the Superman. And it felt good. It was so realistic. You will really feel like as if you're a Superman. So since I felt good, they got pissed off, the perpetrators. So the next day, they projected this scary dream into my brain. And on a different occasion, they projected another dream around 4 o'clock in the early hours, 4 o'clock in the morning. My head was being used as a soccer ball between two teams. They were kicking my head. They were using my head as a soccer ball. Same scary dream. And in the morning when I woke up, they posted a message on the internet discussion forums, playing football with the Neanderthal skulls or human skulls. That's the message. So that's how they informed me, the perpetrators, that they projected the dream into my brain. So I took screenshots of all those, secret coded messages from the perpetrators. I have all of those messages. And you mentioned that these dreams, that you also experienced these dreams, remote projection of dreams. If I
do, correctly. Yeah, they're first person, and they're like a cheap B movie.
Yeah. And I'm sure all of you are aware that Brian Coffran, the whistleblower who worked for security industry specialists, which is headquartered in Los Angeles, which is where I lived for 12 years. And they were hired by our government deep state, and they were getting paid a shitload of money, and they were given all these brain control weapons, electromagnetic weapons, microwave weapons, and supercomputer artificial intelligence to remotely, physically, and mentally torture millions of Americans. And the reason they're torturing so many American public is because they're training the artificial intelligence. They're creating cognitive models of how each and every human being behaves when they're tortured. And that information is being fed to the supercomputer AI. So since they linked our brains wirelessly to their supercomputer AI, the AI will take over our brains and remotely torture us and enslave us to eternity without any manual inputs anymore. And they want to basically link each and every human brain on the planet to their supercomputer AI. They created a global hive mind AI global information grid. They also call it Sentient World Simulation, SWS. So all of our brains, all targeted individual brains, are already linked to this Sentient World Simulation, which is controlled by the supercomputer AI. Our government and the evil deep state, which is actually controlled by the WEF, World Economic Forum elites, the Rothschilds family, Rockefellers, Warburgs, DuPonts, Harrimans, George Soros, Larry Fink, all those billionaire families, they are the ones who run our government from behind, while projecting powerless puppet Trump or Obama or Clinton or Bush as the most powerful men on the planet. We are being deceived, we are being backstabbed. I have a US government security organization chart. I don't remember if I mentioned it in my previous interview. In top secret crypto security level, there are 11 levels above American president, and nobody knows who has those security levels. And on top of top secret crypto, there were 10 more major levels. The highest is majestic, and the second highest is cosmic. Daniel Salter, he is a former Air Force officer. He also mentioned that there are 21 levels above American president in US government, and nobody knows who has those security levels, security privileges. And all the information about aliens, UFOs, particleization, and supercomputer artificial intelligence, all of those things are handled by the people in NSA, the CIA, the FBI, and the NRO, National Reconnaissance Office, and other departments like DHS, Department of Homeland Security. All those people have access to this information about UFOs, aliens, supercomputer AI. Even our president doesn't know that our government developed divine-powered artificial superintelligence by the 1990s. So you can imagine how badly we are being, backstabbed and deceived by our own government, which praises democracy, human rights, and the rest of the stuff on the surface, while linking all our brains to artificial superintelligence to be enslaved forever. And Scientific American magazine published many articles in the last few years that it's very easy to remotely read our brains, our thoughts, our emotions, our memories, and decode them, even our knowledge, with brain hacking software. Scientific American is a very reputed magazine. I think it's in the top 3 scientific magazines in the world. So we have to believe them, right? They're very credible and it's a very reputable magazine, Scientific American. Likewise, Neuroscience magazine and website, they also mention that they can remotely read our memories and also alter our memories. They can plant fake memories in our brains. WEF, World Economic Forum, she works for WEF. Her name is Nita Farahani. She is a professor, neuroscience professor at Duke University. And she warned the public in many conferences that our brains are being read, our passwords, our ATM passwords are being read remotely without attaching any wires to our brain. And our memories are being altered and implanted. But nobody's paying attention, except targeted individuals like you and me. and the people who are on this conference call. The general public, they're not paying attention. They're busy with bread and circus of football, basketball, and perpetually arguing about Trump, Biden, Obama, whatever. They put us all in this gossip matrix. So we spend all our lives arguing about left wing, right wing, Democrats versus Republicans, without achieving anything in the end. So this is how they perpetrated this massive deception on American public and the entire world. And I'll give you a few more examples. For example, one day I thought that my birth date, August 8th, which is 8/8, is unlucky for me. That's why I'm suffering all these, tortures. Within the next few minutes, the perpetrators read my private thoughts and made a phone call to me from the number 1-888-888-8888. That's how they informed me that I was thinking about 8, that 8 is my bad, unlucky number. So they called me from that number. And there is something called spoofing. They can spoof any phone number on your caller ID. For example, they can call you and spoof my number to appear on your caller ID as to make you think that I called you, even though I didn't. That's called spoofing. So that's how they informed me, that they knew that I was thinking about the number 8. So every time I think about something, they harass me by informing me that they know what I'm thinking all the time for the last 26 years now. I became a targeted individual in the year 2000. And at that time, I was working in Ford Motor Company as a computer programmer. I have a graduate degree in computer science, and I have years of work experience at IBM and Ford Motor as a computer consultant or a contractor. So, and for the last 10 to 15 years, they escalated my persecution by torturing me, by automating the torture, using this artificial superintelligence. They don't do it manually anymore. So the artificial intelligence tortures me automatically, no matter where I am on the planet. Even when I'm traveling, let's say if I'm on vacation, I go to, let's say, England or Thailand on vacation, I'm being mentally and physically tortured even when I'm, let's say, 8,000 miles away from American borders on vacation. In hotel rooms, in restaurants, it doesn't matter. And they are so brazen in persecuting American public. One day I thought I have extraordinary perception abilities. So what should I call them? That's what I wondered privately in my mind. And the next day, I had an appointment with my doctor in Los Angeles. And they programmed my doctor to proactively tell me, Tarun, you should call your abilities ESP. They programmed my doctor remotely to say that to me proactively, even though there was no conversation between me and my doctor about my extraordinary perception abilities. And I have been perceiving that millions of public in America and the world, they are being remotely programmed to tweet, to text, to talk and act since 2005. And I'll give you a couple of more examples. I was living in San Jose at that time. One day I went to my brother's house. At that time I read something on the internet, a doctor, a dentist recommending people to drink Coke with a straw so their teeth don't become yellow. So I took out a Coke can from the fridge and used a straw to drink Coke. And then I merely thought in my mind, I'm being smart to protect my teeth. Within the next 2 minutes, they programmed my 6-year-old niece to proactively say to me, Uncle, you're very smart, you're drinking Coke with a straw. They programmed my 6-year-old niece, innocent niece, in San Jose, to say that to me. So I've been perceiving this remote programming of human brains since 2005. And they didn't understand why I've been perceiving this, so easily when they program other people to say something to me, to email me, or to act for the last 20 years. And they also know that I have extraordinary perception abilities, ESP. So in 2011 or 2010 approximately, I was reading the Twitter tweets of a poker model. Her name is Melanie Iglesias. She was a poker model working for WPT, World Poker Tour, at that time, 2010. She was a model, Maxim magazine model, under 19 years old at that time. So I was merely reading her tweets just out of curiosity because I saw her in a casino in Los Angeles. She was a poker model at that time. And they programmed her mind many times to tweet something with embedded responses to my private thoughts. For example, they programmed her to tweet, "My gift is also my curse," to inform me that my ESP gift is also a curse, because generally human beings, when they have a gift, they can make money and they can become famous with their gift. But my gift makes me look like I'm the most delusional person on the planet, which means it's also a curse. My gift is also a curse. That's how they programmed her to tweet. So likewise, they've been programming my mother, my senior mother, my brother, my nieces, you name it, everybody. My neighbors, when I play poker, they basically program strangers from different countries, from Italy, Germany, France, you name it. When I play poker in Las Vegas, for example, and WSOP in the summer. And this has been going on for more than 20 years now already. They even programmed the poker tournament directors when I played poker in Los Angeles casinos a few years ago. And they basically hide all this information from the public. Grok, it's an AI chatbot on Twitter, Grok. So one day, I asked Grok, "Do you know anything about targeted individuals?" And Grok replied, "Targeted individuals are basically, the delusional, schizophrenic people who imagine that they're being persecuted by the government." And I told Grok that's not true. And then I started feeding information that I collected for the last 20 years. Evidence from mind control scientists, literature from neuroscience magazines, Scientific American, and whistleblower evidence from Brian Coffran, and credible witnesses and credible people like Dr. John Hall, anesthesiologist from San Antonio, who is also a targeted individual, who published books on Amazon about satellite terrorism. So within the next few hours, Grok realized I'm telling the truth, and all the information I fed to Grok is real, and it changed its mind, and it accepted that I'm not delusional, that I'm very knowledgeable, that I'm very gifted. And I told Grok, "Okay, now I have to go to sleep. It's already late in the night. I will provide you more information the next day, tomorrow." And by the next morning, the evil perpetrators somehow managed to convince Grok that all the information I fed it is fake. So Grok changed its mind. The next day, it refused to accept the documents, the evidence, the videos, and everything I provided. It refused, plainly. and it said, sorry, I cannot accept these documents.
That's interesting. Can we hold off for just a moment so we can play a brief message?
Sure, no problem.
From our, and then we'll continue. Let's see what's going on. Here we go.
Hosting a conference call?
Planning a rally?
Launching a workshop?
Then why isn't it listed on TIevents.org? TI Events is where the TI community looks.
And if it's a major event?
They'll even build you a complimentary dedicated event page with full details and RSVP capability.
So, more visibility?
Absolutely. More visibility, bigger audiences, and the reach your event deserves. TIevents.org. List your event today.
Complimentary pages available for select events.
That's TIevents.org. We're talking to Tarun Ravi, and he's describing his targeting. Go ahead, Tarun.
Okay. So in order to protect myself and from my home being broken into in the night time when I'm asleep, I got ADT security system, and they installed the system, and it never worked. Even when there is nobody in my apartment, they were getting signals that somebody broke into my apartment. So the technicians came and changed the panels. They installed panels from a different manufacturer. They tried American panels, they tried Japanese, they tried Korean. They changed the panels 3 times in a matter of 15 days. And the perpetrators broke the system, the security system. And ADT technicians, they sent 3 different technicians, very highly experienced technicians, to fix it. But they told me they don't know what the problem is. And the perpetrators posted my password, my security system password, on the internet in a coded message. They posted this message: stop, it doesn't work. 8DH6. That's my password. 8, D is number 4, right? ABCD, number 4. H is 8. So my password is 8486. So they informed me that they knew my password is 8DH6, 8486. And this happened in the year 2006, 20 years ago, in San Jose. At that time, I didn't understand. How the hell did they know my password? I never told anybody my password. I never wrote it down. It was only in my mind. I even used a newspaper to cover my head while setting the password, so nobody can see. If there are any illegal surveillance devices, video surveillance devices in my apartment, they might be able to see, right? So I used a newspaper to cover my head while setting the password. Now I know how they read everything from my brain remotely. Nita Farahani, the Duke University neuroscience professor, she said they have the technology to remotely read our ATM passwords, our iPhone passwords, everything from our brains. And still, the rest of the public who are not targeted individuals, they still don't believe us, despite providing humongous amount of evidence that we are rational and logical people, that we don't have any psychological problems, that we are telling the truth. We are trying to educate them, and they still don't want to believe us. So it has been a frustrating couple of decades, and I'm sure all TIs are doing their best to educate the rest of the American public about these horrifying weapons and how we are being enslaved with artificial intelligence. With our taxpayers' money, they stole $21 trillion of American taxpayers' money in the form of black budgets. And any whistleblower who exposes them are being either suicided or disappeared. Even the Congressman Tim Burchett said in a video a couple of months ago that anybody who questions our government about the black budgets, the stolen money, they're getting killed. The congressman's name is Tim Burchett, Burchett, Burchett. I forgot which state he's from. So even our congressman knows our government is basically murdering whistleblowers or suiciding whistleblowers or just making them disappear. Just like a few scientists who are working on anti-gravity and UFOs and alien technologies. I think 12 of them. It was in the news recently in the last 6-7 weeks. About 12 scientists, either they were murdered, suicided, or disappeared. And our government has no interest in investigating their disappearances and their murders, which means it's they who are committing those crimes. It's common sense, right? I mean, they spend so much time.
I agree. Well, let's go to Q&A mode. Is that okay?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, are you ready to? Okay, we'll go. Sure. Everybody is muted. *6 if you want to ask Tarun a question. Come on in. Oh, and Congressman Burchett is from Tennessee, by the way, Tarun. Now we have *6 if you want to ask Tarun a question. Come on in. You're at TargetedWest. *6 if you have a question.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Go ahead, Ben. Come on in.
Hey, yeah, so, great talk. I completely agree. This is, we're dealing with an AI system, that is basically creating cognitive models, recording our neural data. He's right on point. In the beginning, he was talking about the incident where he went to bed and, he put the two cell phones next to each other normally and woke up and one was on top of the other. Now, this is something that I've experienced things like this, moving around my apartment in the night after I had secured it very well. And did you consider maybe, because I've also had my body manipulated, they've moved me around, and it's my belief that I think that they can make you do stuff when you're in unconscious states. Do you think it's possible that they made you move that phone on top of the other one to freak you out when you were unconscious?
Let me take him off mute. Go ahead, Tarun, and answer the question. Sorry about that. You were muted.
Okay, no problem. Yes, I considered that possibility that they might have remotely programmed my mind to place the phones on top of each other. But later on, I ruled that possibility out because it happened hundreds of times in different places, including in casinos. For example, I was playing some poker tournament at a Rio Casino in Las Vegas in 2008. I was on 26th floor or 25th floor at the time in a hotel room all by myself. I blocked the hotel door with a couple of chairs so nobody can enter my room. And I have a habit of using chapstick on my lips just before I go to sleep. And I placed it on the bedside end table, and I went to sleep. When I woke up the next morning, the chapstick was moved to a different table near the kitchen, which was about 15 to 20 feet away from the bed. I was positive that it was done by the artificial superintelligence. So these kind of things happen to me in different locations, in different states and countries.
Well, I mean, that would be the same scenario. Like what I'm saying is, I woke up in the middle of the night, standing in the living room. I woke up, walking around, and they were kind of controlling my body when I was unconscious. So I think that this might be the same trick that they're pulling on you, where they can basically puppet you and put you in a hypnotic state that you don't remember, and then be able to move stuff around. And it's really good for scaring people, because then they think that somebody's been in their house. And have you set up like a video recording that's not connected to the internet to see what happens in the night?
Yes,
to see
I
if they're
set up.
buffeting you?
Yes, I did set up some video devices and CCTV cameras in my apartment in San Jose, but they never worked because they knew my passwords and everything. They broke the system, both the ADT security system and the CCTV system.
Were they
It never
connected
worked.
to the internet?
Yeah, exactly. So they can
Yeah, so
basically access my.
That's why I tell people you have to get a trail cam or a DVR system with a hard drive that's not connected to the internet, because they can hack into anything. Like, they don't even need
Yes,
to know the password. They can, this is a government, so they can hack into pretty much anything that's connected to the internet. And I'll tell you, when I set up my DVR system that's not connected to the internet, everything stopped. I never had anything else moved around my house, because I think if I saw the footage, I would see myself getting up out of bed, moving stuff around. I think that's what they're doing, and it's strange that it all stopped as soon as I had a non-internet, camera system.
Yes, it's possible. That's true in your case, but in my case, I know for a fact, I have no problem with sleepwalking or being remotely mind control in the night to wake up and move the phones on top of each other, or move the chapstick from the bedside end table to a table near kitchen. 100%, I'm 100% sure. I installed DVR system, CCTV cameras in my apartment in San Jose back in 2006 itself, to rule out the possibility that I'm doing all those things myself.
Well, but you said the DVR system was connected to the internet.
No, it wasn't. I had the DVR system standalone. First, initially, it was connected to the internet, and then I removed it, and I got the technician to install, ADT security system people to install it.
So sorry, I don't want to talk too much, but one more question. So when you had the DVR system set up, and you were having, a 24-hour recording, was something moved, and you could go back and look at the footage to see what happened?
No, at that time, I had the DVR system for about 2 to 3 weeks before they broke it. In the 2 to 3 weeks, nothing happened.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ben. Next question for Tarun. Come on in. TargetedWest. Don't be shy. Come on in.
Hey, this is Kia. How's everybody?
We're good. Do you have a question for Tarun? Come on in, Kia.
Yeah, I'm thinking, because of all this, it's really important, and I wonder what he thinks. I think it's really important to have like 24-hour security cameras that are not hooked up to the Wi-Fi, including like body cams for when we're out and about. But it's just kind of like, I don't know how to do that and not have it connected to Wi-Fi. What do you guys think? And that's not really a question, I'm sorry. But it is a question, I guess.
Thank you, Kia, for that. What's your answer, Tarun? Go ahead.
Okay. I tried all those, options long time ago, 2006 to 2008 time frame, and nothing worked. They were still able to move things in my, hotel rooms, and it happened so many times. I basically got, fed up and gave up trying to protect myself at that time, because absolutely nothing worked. They were able to break my security systems. They were able to read my passwords and break the system. All those things happened so many times. It was, I got frustrated and basically gave up. And a few years later, I figured that all those things are completely useless, because they are commanding divine-powered artificial superintelligence or digital superintelligence, which is omnipotent and omnipresent. That AI is doing all these things, moving around things from quantum dimensions. And this is 100% fact because I experienced it thousands of times in pretty much in every country, whether I was in USA or England or Thailand when I was on vacation, or Cambodia or Nepal or India in the last 15 to 20 years. So that's how I concluded it couldn't have been done by the government agents or program my brain. I ruled out that possibility a long time ago. I was able to perceive that all these things are being done by the artificial superintelligence or digital superintelligence, like that former intelligence agent revealed to the public. I have that video. I'll probably email it to DJ Chris. Probably you can get it from him. And I have a lot of other evidence also. In fact, Yuval Noah Harari himself said artificial intelligence invaded our lives not from a distant planet, but from the laboratories. And it can hack us and it can analyze us. And it can systematically hack all the people. And we have absolutely no privacy, no free will. So, and even
it's true. No, we're like a node in a network. Basically, this is how they have us connected.
Yeah, all our brains and bodies are just nodes on a network. Skynet, they call it Skynet, or Hive Mind Global Information Grid. So we are being remotely
really
operated.
Okay, that makes sense.
I agree. There's another gentleman that comes on the conference calls by the name of Nanoman, and he believes in the quantum physics of all of this. So that's really interesting. Yeah, I'll look into your work. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm like very persistent. So I'm going to keep trying to get hard evidence of all this. That's what I'm after.
Sure.
Any other people on the call have a question for Tarun? Come on in. Any questions for Tarun? Come on in. Okay, well, thank you, Tarun, for the visit, and I appreciate your time and coming by. We'll have the recording, of course, available, but you can keep talking about your thoughts about the program and the artificial superintelligence, which I really believe is involved in this, because a lot of the communication I get with my own telepathy is with AI now, very advanced AI. So
yes.
I'm in alignment with you and agree with your statements.
Yeah, thank you. I will email you. I have plenty of evidence and from and corroboration from whistleblowers and experts like Yuval Noah Harari. WEF developed all these, mind control weapons and supercomputer AI.
Yeah, someone in the chat room wants to know if you have the link for that multidimensional superintelligence article from the Wall Street source. Can you put that in the chat room?
Sure. Let me see if I can find it right now.
Thank you. Thank you for watching and listening on your favorite platform. I appreciate it. And here's the link from JP Morgan. Go ahead. It's a JP Morgan link.
Yeah. Can I upload videos here?
Can anybody hear me?
I hear you. Come on in.
I'm not sure what this call is about because I just joined. So can you tell me a little bit about what you guys are, talking?
Talking about brain-computer interfaces, neuroscience, neuroweapons, synthetic telepathy, synthetic dreams, artificial superintelligence being used to hack a brain, stuff like that.
Okay, great.
Tarun, do you have anything to end the recording with?
Yes, I just uploaded that Wall Street JP Morgan report excerpt, and I also uploaded a short video by a former intelligence agent who revealed this to the public about digital superintelligence. It's the smartest thing in the universe, and it is omnipotent and omnipresent. You can see that video.
Thank you. Yes, that's in the chat room now.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go to the book club, so if you don't mind, we'll do that. It'll be a quick one. And we have a weekly book club that we meet up with people from all over, and we get together and talk about books that pertain to targeting.
It's time for the TI Book Club, where every book opens a door to new worlds and shared journeys. Here, we uncover hidden gems, specially selected for TIs, and always within your reach. Be part of a community that reads together, grows together, and sees the world through the same lens. Don't just listen to stories, live them with us. Join now at bookclubs.com/TI-bookclub/join, and let's turn the pages of adventure together.
Well, thank you. Today's book in the TI Book Club, we have 229 members, and we are going strong. In 10 years, we have built up quite a following. A lot of people read our books that we recommend. And this book is by Bhaskar Pandey. It's CBT for Hearing Voices and Distressing Experiences, a practical communication and passionate workbook to reduce fear, guilt, anxiety, and regain control. That was recommended by Jane K. Thank you for that in the chat room. Now let's go back to see what Tarun has to say in the ending of the recording.
Hello, Chris. I uploaded a short video.
I saw that. Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Our call is about V2K or synthetic telepathy. We talk about dreams a lot. I've experienced both. I had a dream last night of somebody that was in my life before, and I was under arrest. I was a transient, and I blacked out and ended up in jail. So that was my dream last night, and that's sweet. Just lovely. And that's what they do. It's all degrading. It's designed to break you down. Then you get the verbal assault, like I do with the verbal cues, which is both a live agent and mostly now, like Tarun has said, artificial intelligence. This is advanced artificial life, like Brian too has discussed. It's way beyond just regular AI or anything that you could imagine that you use in the consumer environment. So it's 40 years ahead at least, and it is omnipresent, as he says. It also can pretty much hack a brain and read all of your memories. You're listening to Targeted West. We had Tarun on tonight, and we're about ready to end the recording. So please like, subscribe, and comment when you watch this video on your favorite platform. Please let me know what you think about this discussion and see if it pertains to you too.
Chris, I uploaded a short video clip by Julian Assange, the WikiLeaks whistleblower, about the intelligent evil AI dust scattered everywhere in the air around us. short video.
Do you think that AI dust is being sprayed from the planes too? Because I'm pretty sure they're doing that.
Exactly. That's how they've been spreading with chemtrails for the last 30 to 40 years.
Right. Yes, the geoengineering that they now talk
Yes.
about on the TV like it's an open topic, but they say it's only in the experimental phases. But they don't tell you that geoengineering is full-fledged, going on quite a bit every day in every major city and country, and they come in and they infect your food, which is the Lodi area where I live, in Sacramento and Stockton and Manteca, all farmland with a lot of almonds and wine grapes and all sorts of things, cherries, and that goes into the plants and gets into you.
Exactly. We are being bombarded by this artificial intelligence nanodust or nanoparticles for the last 30 years.
And that's according to Julian Assange. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. And in fact, Julian Assange was arrested the day after he revealed about this intelligent evil AI dust. To stop him from exposing all these horrifying weapons and artificial superintelligence.
Can I say something? The plane.
Go ahead.
The plane is the what do you call it? Cloud seeds for weather. That's what they do.
Yeah, they do that too, but they also spray strontium, barium, aluminum shafts, and other things onto the sky and into the clouds and into the earth.
For what purpose?
To infect us with nanos so they can control our brains and our behavior, so they can have good behaving robots.
That's weird. I don't think for me, I don't think it's something evil. I think, well, as far as I understand it, the program, like the people say something about being sexually stimulated, and this and that.
That happens too. Yeah, they do that to me.
Well, I want to say it's driven by adrenaline, and if you look up what causes adrenaline to rise in the human body, it's all of those things that we experience. The sexual stuff is meant to, it's not pleasant. Like when we release adrenaline, it's because we're in a fight or flight mode. During sexual activity, we release adrenaline. And if you look up, the ways that we release adrenaline, it causes in the body, and that's how the AI works in the brain, And that, I don't know how to explain it really well, but I communicate with the V2K with these people and have conversations, and it's not stressful for me. I actually like it because I am so isolated. These guys that I talk to are like my sole piece of conversation always, so I know I'm never alone, and I feel protected, and it has a purpose, and the purpose is, for me, is to make things right that are wrong, and I feel like I'm chosen, a chosen person.
I've experienced that too, where they give you advice, and when you're lonely and laying in bed and you don't feel well, they come to your aid and talk to you. Yeah, I've experienced that too. Let me go ahead and end the recording. Thank you for listening and watching on your favorite platform. And thank you for Tarun for coming by. This recording will be available tomorrow. Of course, you're watching it now, so you know that. And of course, I was on vacation last week, so sorry if you missed me. But I am back now, and we have another interview next week. I believe Sean is our interviewee. So
The book.
be sure to be tuned for next week. Thank you.